I'm Harry Fiochari, and I'm very proud to be the chairman of Maritime London. Without being too self-congratulatory, I think that we at Maritime London and all of our members can be very, very proud of their achievements. We're university acknowledged as the world's best cluster for maritime professional services in the whole world. Now, that's not really surprising when you think about it. We have the best insurance business in the world here with Lloyd's of London and most of the P&I clubs. We have the best financial institutions who choose to use the United Kingdom and London as the centre for much of their global ship finance lending. We mustn't forget our educational establishments. They're fundamentally important, not only in the research that they do with technology and scientific work, but also with the commercial work that they undertake. Now, on top of that, we have right on our doorstep one of the best and most prestigious classification societies in the world, and we also have the largest and certainly some of the best shipbrokers right on our doorstep here in the City of London. There are only 2 listed shipbrokers, and they've both chosen to be here in the United Kingdom in the City of London. Now, dare I say, we also have the biggest and best maritime law firms in the world, and I'm very proud to be connected with my firm, Norton Rose Fulbright. Now, we mustn't forget, and this is really important, that we've inherited this position of primacy. Our forebears have passed this down to us, and it's fundamentally important that we're not the generation that go from being the best maritime professional services in the world to one of the best. So it's incumbent upon all of us to work very hard to keep that #1 position. And also, please remember, we're not a self-serving organisation. We're there to make sure that we benefit the maritime industries of the United Kingdom. So working together, particularly with government and all the other maritime bodies in the UK, let's continue to take our industry forward. Many thanks.
I'm Sandra Rosignoli, and I'm Group Head of Legal and Compliance at Clarksons. I was put in contact with Maritime London, who have been heavily involved with the regulators in this country, as well as in Europe and in the US. We engaged with them around our concerns and our desire to reach out more broadly to the shipbroking as well as the ship owning community, and through them we worked very successfully with the Baltic and with the regulators to communicate some of the very significant changes that have taken place in the regulatory space in maritime as a result of these Russian sanctions. So that was a very, very successful engagement. They got me access to the regulators and the Baltic, although we obviously have a long-standing relationship with the Baltic. We were able to connect with the Baltic on a different level to be able to communicate and engage with the industry as a whole. So it was a very, very successful collaboration. Why do I think it's important to carry on engaging with Maritime London? In part because I think that they do a very good job in communicating to the membership, as well as acting as a bridge between government and the industry, and they're extremely well connected. And that makes a big difference in our industry, which is very relationship driven. I think that we will see continued regulation and continued sanctions coming out of the regulators in the G7 plus countries. And I think that Joss Stanwyck in particular, who's been a standout in his engagement with the industry and regulators, has a key role to play in promoting the dialogue and getting the regulators to understand the needs of our industry, what our industry in fact does, and to help get clarification on what is sometimes quite obscure legislation is not always the easiest to understand or interpret. So all in all, I would say that Maritime London has been critical in supporting Clarksons over the last 18 months in dealing with sanctions risk.
ING joined Maritime London several years ago for a number of reasons. Firstly, by attending the various seminars, events and webinars, it enables us to keep up to date with developments in the industry, but also to hear the views from a wide range of stakeholders. The organisation also arranges social events, including the upcoming annual dinner, which I always enjoy and is very well attended. I think, secondly, what we find is that Maritime London acts as a one-stop marketplace where we can identify potential customers and suppliers necessary for the success of our business. Thirdly, and probably the most important point, is that membership gives ING access to Maritime London's extensive network, and it gives us the ability to reach organisations and individuals we could not otherwise contact. This was highlighted very recently when we needed to contact senior government officials, and Maritime London was able to provide the necessary introductions. On a wider perspective, Maritime London supports the wider shipping community in a number of ways, but primarily it brings together all the views and knowledge of its members and shares these across the wider community. It also lobbies very effectively to promote the UK shipping industry both at home and abroad. For us at ING, being a member of Maritime London has brought considerable benefits, and we look forward to being a member for many years to come.
Hi, I'm Mike Salthouse, Head of External Affairs at North Standard P&I, the UK's largest P&I club. Maritime London represents the UK's world-leading maritime service sector, drawing its membership from a diverse range of disciplines and businesses that collectively make up the world's strongest and most innovative maritime services hub. Whilst the specialisations of its members are often very different, they have much in common, and all benefit from the clear and authoritative voice that Maritime London provides on behalf of its members. Today, the shipping industry faces a unique set of challenges, ranging from the consequences of evolving geopolitics through the need to decarbonise and transition to new fuels, to the opportunities that are presented by technical innovation. As a business, North Standard relies heavily on the world-leading services provided by members of Maritime London: arbitration, legal services, classification societies, insurance brokers, and so on. Maritime London brings these industries together and allows for the sharing of ideas and the articulation of common concerns. This in turn benefits all of us in the maritime service sector, ensuring that all aspects of the challenges and opportunities we face are considered, so generating the market-leading solutions necessary for today's problems. As the voice of the UK maritime professional service sector, Maritime London provides both a forum for the innovation that's necessary to maintain the maritime service excellence and also the leadership to meet these challenges. North Standard is proud to be a member of Maritime London.
WTW are proud members of Maritime London, being the voice of maritime services in what is its global centre, London. Given the importance of maritime to the global economy and the facilitation of international trade, Maritime London forms that critical link between industry, government and other regulators. It allows insurers, lawyers, financiers, shipbrokers and other critical members of the marine services sector the ability to support our owners, charterers and cargo owners as they navigate the challenges of a whole range of issues from decarbonisation, sanctions and other changes in regulations. At WTW, we are acutely aware of the difficulties faced by our clients operating in an increasingly challenging world. We value the services that Maritime London provides its membership, whether that be in presenting to government policymakers, running workshops and conferences that help set out the implications of rule changes, promoting London and the wider UK maritime services sector, and of course its support of London International Shipping Week. WTW is a global company supporting our clients wherever they operate. We are, however, aware of the particular importance that London has to the maritime services sector, and being a member of Maritime London is valuable to us and the clients we represent.
Well, I think the value of being a member of Maritime London is that you feel that you're plugged into the wider marine community. It gives you the opportunity to meet people within the different sectors within the marine industry, to learn about them, to learn about their experience and their expertise, and also to tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do and where you fit into the picture as well. So there is a sharing of knowledge. I think it's very helpful because it brings people together from around the global community to talk about different topical issues, ranging from, for example, recently Russia-Ukraine to issues in the Red Sea, etc. It gives people the opportunity to talk about it, to see how they are responding or dealing with those issues, and to share knowledge in that context as well. I think London remains a focal point. It's an excellent place for people to gather together and to share their knowledge and expertise. It draws people from all around the globe. For example, London International Shipping Week, which was a huge success this year. And I think Maritime London is central to that, and gathering people together to offer opportunities and forums in which people can discuss issues and to share their experiences and their knowledge.
City is a member of Maritime London as it brings together all the UK-based professional services working with the maritime sector to share perspectives and discuss important issues impacting the shipping industry, the maritime sector as a whole, and of course the services we provide. Maritime London also organises excellent conferences and seminars which are always interesting and relevant and attract leading players in each sector to be the speakers. With the challenges facing the industry from issues such as sanctions, decarbonisation and regulation, and not just the IMO's regulation, Maritime London convenes its members to improve knowledge and understanding and to argue for sensible solutions. Maritime London is seen as an important voice for professional services in the sector by the government on all maritime issues, and by other countries' maritime cities. Some of these seminars are actually held in other cities under the auspices of Maritime London. During London International Shipping Week, Maritime London plays a very important role in bringing together international visitors together with the UK-based members to advance discussions on key topics such as green corridors, sanctions compliance, current topics on insurance and legal issues, and of course the impact of the new IMO ambition on decarbonisation. London is and will remain a leading maritime centre, especially for professional services, and Maritime London makes a major contribution to ensuring that will continue.
The Baltic Exchange has been a supporter of Maritime London for over 25 years. We think that it's a key organisation in the City of London, and I think that it's all in the name, isn't it? Maritime. It's unique in the fact that it brings together maritime business services in this cluster. It allows communication between those members, which is really useful. That's something that I certainly have found attending quite a few of the board meetings, but also the events that Maritime London puts on. It's a unique organisation to bring this type of collaboration across the maritime industry. I think that, the industry representation, we certainly rely upon Maritime London in its contacts with government in terms of lobbying with the Department of Transport, but also keeping up to speed with recent developments, especially last year or in the last year and a half, to do with sanctions, the events and discussions that took place during London International Shipping Week, supported by Maritime London, were excellent. So I think in general I've got to highly recommend being a member of Maritime London. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and it's a pleasure to be able to come together with you all today to celebrate the success of Maritime London and the UK services sector. As a Minister in the Department for Business and Trade, I cover maritime and shipbuilding, while prior to this I was also your Maritime Minister in the Department for Transport. This is to say, I know this sector well and I'm pleased to be able to contribute today. I know that the UK's maritime professional services sector is world leading, boasting levels of expertise, innovation and success that few others can hope to match. We should all be rightly proud of the great history and accomplishments of our maritime services sector and those that work within it. And Maritime London, standing as it does at the heart of the maritime industry, embodies this UK excellence. Maritime London as an organisation has strong expertise and connections not just into professional services but into the wider maritime sector as a whole. For this reason, the government has worked with them extensively in order to meet our shared objective of ensuring the UK remains the #1 location for maritime business and trade. Maritime London and their members have been vital to the success of official government trade missions and activity in markets as diverse as Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, South Korea and Singapore, to name but a few. They are a trusted voice within the sector, and I have been grateful for the feedback, advice and counsel the Maritime London leadership and membership have provided to me over my time in government. They are tireless advocates for their members and for the UK's maritime ecosystem to be the best that it can be. I look forward to continuing to work with them long into the future. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Joss Standerwick, Chief Executive of Maritime London. Whether it be the increasingly complex geopolitical landscape, international and regional decarbonisation regulation, or the effect that the wider ESG agenda is having on the shipping industry, this sector has never been exposed to so much external intervention. Against this backdrop, Maritime London's raison d'etre of informing the members of the latest relevant information and developments both within government and the market, promoting unparalleled expertise that exists within the membership, and convening to discuss issues that are pertinent to the industry has never been more important. Maritime London is committed to working with our members and the wider industry to ensure that London and the UK remain the leading provider of maritime professional services and a leading centre for commercial shipping.